back on the engine today. I'm going to be doing the timing bout, which obviously means taking off the pulleys and alternator bout, etc. Then I'll remove the. A lot of people just mark the pulleys. It's not the way to do. You have meant to lock bar the back of the camshaft to make sure you got the right setting on the pulley and getting the bout in the right place. And then I'm going to move on to doing the oil pump swap. Obviously, for the sumps are very different on the Caddy engine compared to the transporter engine. So the sumps are on an angle, but yeah. So I'm going to get on with it. Right, got that stripped off now. Like I said, I've got the cam showing, as you can see. You can see at the moment that notch here is obviously not lined, so we've got to turn the crankshaft round. We know the timing was good on this van because we did the last bout, and that's when the water pump was replaced, which is not cam bout driven on this type. But you've got a notch on the fuel pump as well, and we know the crankshaft's going to be in place anyway, so when we come back to the back of the flywheel, you'll see when the bolt's in the right position, but that's besides the point. It's right, so we'll get this one lined, get that lock bar lined, which we'll be using one of these. A lot of people don't know about these, and it'll be slotted into there, which I'll show in a minute, and we'll get the bout off once we're all locked up, so we don't lose the timing, which is quite important. We'll probably put some a little bit of ink or something on the bottom pulley just to mark it up. So I've turned it into position. You can see now what I'm going to do is put this locking pin in. Might have to jiggle it a little bit and move it forward a little bit more. That's no problem, we can do that. Just get, it's a 19 multi-splined. I'm just going to move it a little bit, you'll see. There we go. I'm going to put my lock bar in. These are genuine Volkswagen tools that I've had for years. So in you go. Nice, screw them in. It's probably a little bit grotty where it's not been done for a few years. And we did it a while ago, but the van's obviously been off the road for a long period of time. Everything gets a little bit grotty. So this now, you see someone is Tipexed in the past. So we'll rub that off, or even use that Tipex mark they've done, and we'll run one down onto the housing. But now we can put the lock bar in, hopefully the camshaft line. Or we might have to adjust the camshaft slightly. Sometimes these bars can get a little bit bent. You'll see that's where it's going to be, perfectly in there, aligned and done. And obviously, if you have a problem with the lock bar, this pulley's tapered. You can move the pulley, unbolt it, and you move the pulley to get it right and sound, and then check your tensioner and everything's right afterwards. But you lock bar before, and then we undo the tensioner, which I'll show you in a minute. Ready to take the bout off now. So it's just a tensioner bolt really. So these are pretty simple compared to the old ones. It's you know, for an old one they're pretty simple. As a tensioner really, and the bout, to be honest. You have a 2-pin tool to undo it, but it should just move like that. And once you've done that, look, see, everything becomes very much nicer to move, but we've got to keep everything in play. So the lock bar is obviously in the back now, so we know the cam timing's right. We've marked up the crank timing because on the car you'd have a hole in the transmission with a the flywheel would have a notch in it. We haven't got that today, so, but the crankshaft's not the variable. The variable is the camshaft, which we're tapered on the end. So once we get the new bout on and everything, you can see this is probably dated to, well, 2006. So it's the last time that bout was done. So we move over to the new one. You can get them from anywhere really, but you know, this is a good brand, obviously. I'm not going to use rubbish. A new nut and washer there. What I'm going to do is we're going to change the stud as well, and we've changed that for the new stud. You get one in the kit. It's quite important. These can stretch and they can skew in, the thread can be bad, so we'll pull that out. See, I put the new stud in, a little dot of Loctite. We don't want a strong Loctite. I've only used the light one, so we can get the pulley bolt out again in the future, because we'll be doing it obviously. So everything's ready and locked in. We got lock bar in, and we're ready to fit the new cam bout and tensioner, which is not the worst job in the world. We got a new nut and washer, which is nice, in the kit, which is in, obviously always replace your nuts and washers and studs if they're in the kit, because these studs, if they go, your engine's gone. Obviously it's a small percentage of cost compared to a cam bout snapping, which is not a good thing to happen. We're just going to not even pinch this up, just going to run it to there. So it's locked into its little lock cradle. You'll see there's a little pin lock in there. You just lock it in, locate, and in a minute the tensioner will be, these two notches will be lined together, but we'll show you. But it's pretty basic stuff. The cam bout's pretty much the same as the old one. The old engine, amazing. The Volkswagens never really change a lot of their stuff really. So I'm going to work from the bottom up. People vary and there's arguments over it, but it doesn't matter as long as the bout's on in place. But we can run the tension around. It get a little bit tight in places, so look, you can see already it's gripping to the bottom, so we'll run this round. So get him on. Just the palm on. You don't want to use a hammer. Said they can be tight. This one was extremely tight. And you feel that. Obviously we've got lock bar in, pin in. That's good. What you want to do is have your 13 in your hand ready, and it's always clockwise. I've seen idiots do this the wrong way. Always clockwise till your notches line up, and I'll show you in a minute. Pinched up for now. Show you why we don't tighten it yet. You can see those little dudes there lined up. Obviously that's in, this is in. What we're going to do now is turn it through a full turn with the pins out, obviously. I'm going to pull them out. You've got adjustments slightly on your fuel pump, which is nice. The early ones didn't have it. And that one's out. I'm going to turn in through clockwise, obviously. You can see there's movement in the tensioner. You hear the compression strokes. Diesel compression is easier with your glow plugs out, but we're going to do that. Just put a bit of elbow grease into it. Yes, halfway. Hear the compression. Back up to the crankshaft line. Put the pin in. A little bit more that way. Yeah, this is probably right actually, and a little bit behind. Lovely. Straight in. Lock bar in. Absolutely spot on. So we've got our white line. It's perfect. We've got our pin. We've got our lock bar in there. So that's ready. Lovely. Everything lined up perfectly. So the belt's on. Torqued him down. So we're ready to fit all the tin back on. And then get round to putting the oil pump on the from the other engine, and move on to this one, and then we can start to assemble some bits and pieces. But yeah, good.